All right, what's up, Knucklehead Nation? I'm here live with David Death Dealer Marquez, man. How you feeling, sir?
Feeling good, man. Feeling healthy. Still training every day, and I'm in a fight camp right now because I have a fight coming up on the 30th. So just keeping the grind moving along.
That's good to hear, man. That's good to hear, man. Let me just preface this, Knucklehead Nation, man. I'm real excited for this interview, man, because I got to meet this guy at the weigh-ins of his last fight against Nathan Hawthorne at FightersRep 18, which you guys put on an absolute banger. I'm telling you, man, most guys I meet at the weigh-ins, obviously they're drained, they're tired, they want some food in them. You see guys not at their full energy. Not this dude. Dude, you were full energy from weigh-in till fight day. Like, man,
Yeah.
I gotta ask, like, where do you kind of get like just being that guy and having that energy?
Uh, well, I'm always happy-go-lucky guy. I guess I'm optimistic. I'm always looking for the positives on everything. But just being a good person, everybody is kind of what gives me that energy. I always want to be nice to everybody and stuff like that. But I mean, man, I really just love to fight. So when I'm around that energy and getting weighed in, I mean, man, my energy levels are at 100 because I just want to perform and get it done.
I gotta ask, even too, man. You were like being good friends with your opponent even before the fight, man. Like some guys, they get psyched up, they get amped in their head and everything, but you're all smiles and like happiness, all giving the dude high fives and everything. Like
Yeah, man.
if I was faced off against you, I'd find it tough. It's like, man, how do you even want to fight a guy like you? He's so nice.
Yeah, I think it's definitely not a mind game that I try to play. I am just a really nice guy. Don't get me wrong. When we get in the ring, I'm definitely aiming to hurt you. I want to hurt you for sure. I want to draw blood. I want to knock you out or whatever I can get done to you. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, there's no animosity. I definitely go in there with a blank mind. I don't hate my opponent. It is obviously a sport. It is a fight sport, but
Mhm.
I look at it as in terms of like a challenge. So, man versus man. And at the end of the day, I'm not gonna hate you or go after your family or anything like that. It is what
Yeah.
it is. But yeah, man.
Yeah, man, let's get a little more into that. I want to know, like, what is there a specific thing you do to flip that switch? Because viewers, if you have not seen David Marquez fight, you need to go back and watch it, man. Especially, even actually the performance right before it. I believe we just reposted your head kick knockout,
Yeah.
which was one of my favorites of a rear leg to a southpaw head kick knockouts. I
Thanks,
thought you
man.
set it up perfectly. Yadir was coming in. You waited patiently and got your shot when you needed to.
Yeah, man.
So is there like a special ritual? Is there a warm-up routine? Or are you just the second your feet hits the canvas, is it just go time?
Yeah, I'm glad you said like, my name, David Marquez. That is my name, guys. My name is David Marquez. That's who I am. But inside of the ring, I am the death dealer. I guess kind of that's like my ritual, my changeover. I definitely do leave the David Marquez in the warm up room, and I definitely change into a different mode. I don't really know if it's a breathing work or I don't know, but it's definitely when it's go time, I shift over to the alter ego of Death Dealer. And, that's where I kind of just zero out, no emotion. I just go in there to get the job done. I like to, I guess, take a word from Max Holloway. One time he said, I don't need to do all this. I already know how to fight. So I do know how to fight already. Obviously, there's always parts and facets of the game that you can better yourself in and, fine tune. But I already know how to fight. I know how to bring that aggression out of me when it's time. So, yeah, man, like you said, when my feet hit the canvas, Death Dealer comes out and it's go time.
Now, where did that alter ego kind of come from? Was this just like a nickname you got and it stuck and just kind of took its own thing? Was this something you created? Where does the death dealer come from?
Just hanging out with some family members, and some uncles and stuff like that. And a couple of them were just talking about my fight style. And one of my uncles was like, "Oh yeah, your style to just like you can deliver him anything. It's like it's dealer's choice. Like do you want a kick to the face or do you want a good jab or that knockout head kick. So I try to change up my style every fight that I come into the lines then or any fight. You know, I tried to change up my style so I'm not the same guy. But yeah, my uncles were like, "Oh, you just dish it out," and I was like, "Oh, like a dealer of death, kind of." And they're like, "Exactly," and it just kind of rang a bell, and David, Death Dealer, just kind of rang, and I stuck with it, and I ran with it, and yeah, here I am now, rocking the name Death Dealer.
That's sick, man. I like that origin, hanging around talking shit with the uncles. Like,
Yeah, simple, you know, a couple beers, you know, around the barbecue, talking about a couple fights that I had. The knockout came about, and yeah, man, just happened to come up, and I liked it, and it rang, and so I stuck with it. Death Dealer.
so speaking of your starts in fighting, and kind of developing your style,
Hmm.
how did you get into Muay Thai? How did you get into fighting and wanting to become a competitor and wanting to become a fighter?
Well, I got into the whole love for like fighting and martial arts and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm sure as all of us for kids, we like WWE and stuff. So I love that. But then my brother and my mom and older family members in my family, they watched UFC, and when I saw that for the first time, you know, when my eyes caught that, I was like, "Oh, this is the realest thing out there," you know? Fighting, combat sports. And so that just drew me in ever since I was a young kid, and started doing martial arts here and there and messing around, you know, like forging my mom's signatures on like free week passes or free month passes, stuff like that, you know, just so I can do it, man. But when I really got serious was in high school. I did wrestling for 4 years. So, you know, if I do ever make an MMA appearance, you know, don't count me out. I do it up. I do it all, you know. But yeah, 4 years of wrestling. As soon as I got out of high school, I just wanted to devote my life to it. You know, I didn't really think about going the college route or, you know, anything. I was pretty blue collar. So got right into construction, saving up money, any jobs I could, being a handyman. And yeah, I found Buena Park Martial Arts Academy, which is the gym that I'm underneath now, but it used to be called All in MMA. And I found that gym back around like 2014, 15. And the rest is in the books, man. The rest is in the books. I stuck with them, and I fell in love with it. They obviously, it's a martial arts academy, but they are very heavy on their traditional Muay Thai. Our grandmaster is Grandmaster Pelly Ferrer, so salute to him. That's a shout out right there. He's created hundreds of thousands of black belts in his time, man. It's insane. But yeah, I'm very lucky to have found him and his lineage of Muay Thai, and yeah, man, just the brutality of Muay Thai is what took me in the route, and then I found FightersRep, which is of course, a great community and fight organization. And man, it's all gas, no breaks in the Lions Den. So that's what I look forward to. So hopped on that train, and here we are, baby.
That's awesome, man. I like that start, man. So you kind of was something that you wanted to pursue for a long time since a child. Obviously, had your start in wrestling and as we've all been in like those week-long trial classes and karate classes, and then finally found Muay Thai
I
post
like
high
I
school.
like the challenge, man. I like the challenge. I like the pain. You know what I mean? It's part of it. You know what I mean? I like the hard grinding nights. You know what I mean? Sleep, sleepless times where you got to wake up early, be to the gym. You know, and just a quick thing for some of you who may not know, I'm also a coach too. So if I'm not ever doing it myself, I'm coaching it, you know. So I'm around uh, Muay Thai and martial arts basically all parts of my day. So it's what I do, it's what I live for, it's what I love, you know. So
Well, let's get a little more into that coaching part, man. How's it been? Kind of when did you start coaching, and what was that transition like, going from fighter to coach as well?
um, I guess I started actually seriously coaching. I would say about like 3 4 years ago. I've been a personal trainer for like 5 years here and there, but when I actually started getting people who were serious about learning from me and picking up the style that I bring and my lineage of Muay Thai, it's been about 3 years, and it wasn't too big of a jump, you know, but obviously managing the time between being a coach and being a fighter, that's always the juggle. But man, I can just tell you right now, it definitely does help, you know, when you're out there calling out everybody's flaws every single day and helping people fix theirs, you know, it really makes you take a look at yourself in a different way. And so it's helped me become a better fighter as well. So being a good fighter helps me be a good coach, and being a good coach helps me be a good fighter. So
Well, I'd imagine too, like, obviously we haven't interacted a major crazy amount, but just
mhm.
from the little bit that we've interacted, seem like a very kind and kind of nice and giving guy. So I imagine you'd be A great role model for kids to kind of look up to. Always positive, always happy, always smiling.
Yeah, man. The little knuckleheads that I deal with, obviously they do have some rough edges. You got to smooth them out. Get their attention on. But hey, man, I love it. And everybody says kids are the next generation. They're our future. So just trying to build the next generation of savages. And then I also train and coach adults and advanced adults Muay Thai and people who are also looking to maybe step into the Lions Den one day, FightersRep, and get that going. And maybe you might see me as a coach in the corner one day. But yeah, man, just building a whole new squad of killers.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And on top of it, too, that's more training partners and more looks for you as a fighter.
Most definitely.
All right, man. Well, you keep referencing the Lions Den, and I've made a few nods towards your performance as a Lions Den. Let's talk about what's upcoming, man. Let's get in a little bit of that rumor mill. FightersRep, as some of the viewers may or may not know, is making a return September 9th at FightersRep 19. And I saw two guys chirping in that comic section of FightersRep, 19.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there was a flyweight eliminator coming up.
There was, man. I mean, if you guys do stay in the mix of it all, FightersRep 18, the last one, we had that flyweight eliminator. I X'd out Nathan. No shit talk there, but I X'd you out, boy. So you're out the game. Shouts out to my boy Ian Holloway. Hey, a little setback, but he's a great fighter, a young kid, and he will be back. So keep an eye out for him. But he got eliminated as well. So who are the next two up? I want my chance, and put some respect on my name, but I want my belt, guys. Let's go.
Exactly, man. Let's get into that. Obviously nothing's set in stone yet. I'm not gonna out here throw that out there, but there's obviously an interest there. There's an interest I know definitely from me as a fan. I believe there's even a little bit of interest from George as well. And I know you two are two guys who, about, of course, is Mariano Corona.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta ask, if this matchup does happen for that flyweight strap, what do you make of your opponent, and what can we expect?
Well, I mean, obviously we saw his explosive power. He drops a big bomb. Don't really know too much about his background, and I definitely want to say sorry to him in the first place that I forgot his name. That was not trying to be a disrespectful call out in the last fight. I just forgot his name. So Mariano Corona, nice to meet you, brother. If it happens, it happens, and let's get it. But yeah, man, he's got some power in his hands. He's a little bit shorter than me, so I never really take looks at that. If you're taller or shorter or anything like that, just kind of take a look at the style. Obviously, he's got the hands. But yeah, man, I can weather the storm no matter what you bring to the table. People think that they can get me out of there in the first round, but as you can see, I have no problem sticking with it. Whether you're a tough fighter, I can stick with you. If you're an explosive fighter, a fast fighter, whatever it may be, I'll always level up. That's one thing that I want to say right now is I will always level up. So if you guys think that you're better than me, I will level up. I will be better than you by the end of it. Trust me. I'll always level up to the occasion. And that's what I'm looking to do. I'm not looking for easy fights. So if he's going to bring a good, hard fight, bring it, man, because I'm going to do the same thing. And yeah, more XP.
I love that. I love that comparison, man. Looking at this thing like a video game.
Yeah, man.
That. Obviously, like I said, you do know a little bit around him. You do know a little bit about his style. As someone who likes to research you guys a little bit, he actually comes from a traditional, more kind of kickboxing, Muay Thai style gym. And the one thing that I, obviously this interview is about you, but, as a potential matchup.
Yeah.
One thing people aren't going to want to just sleep on for Mariano is the fact, too, he's got some pretty tricky Muay Thai. He's got some pretty tricky kicks. He's got some tricks up his sleeves. So how you think you're going to deal with that? Obviously, again, you're more of a traditional Muay Thai style. Taking on a guy, his coach, I believe, has fought for glory, and in that more K1 style. And obviously, Mariano has proven he's got the cardio to go all arounds, and he's got bombs in his hands. How would you counter that style personally, without giving too much away?
Yeah, without giving too much away, honestly, I mean, you can research me all you want. Like I said, I'm gonna try to change it up every single time, add a new little facet, a new little parts of my game and stuff like that. But that being said, oh, pardon me, I'm gonna shut my door real quick. There's some noise coming from out there.
All good, sir.
But but yeah, looking to approach his style, the way I usually do, just absorb, man, absorb as much as I can while it's coming out my way. I'm a thinker, I like to think and stuff like that. I plot stuff. There's setups that I try to lay, traps that I put down, so if he picks up on any of them and I see any openings, I'll capitalize. I do come from a more traditional Muay Thai, but I got that West Coast flair. I like to add some pizzazz, add some of my own death dealer swag and style to it, so it's traditional, but it's got some West Coast flair on it. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, just come out there, just a hard fighter like I always want to be. And yeah, like I said, anything he wants to dish out, I'll just level up to it. I know that he's a good fighter. He's got, like you said, he showcased his power in his hands. I know he's got some tricky Muay Thai. Yeah, man, not to put down to him. I just think I'm better. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel like all people who want to come up and be the best, they should have some confidence in them. It's not cockiness, it's confidence, guys. I just feel like I am the best 125-pounder in the division right now. So that's it.
Well, in terms of mentality, I would agree, man. Like, this is what we look for at FightersRep. It's not in any combat sport, really. If you're not coming into this thinking, I want to be the best, I want to give 100%, I'm sorry, this is a sport where you can very easily get hurt.
Oh,
at the end of the day, it's called combat sports for a reason. So
it's the hurt business.
Exactly. And so therefore, I think that's a great mentality to have, and almost one that I think if you're a fighter, you kind of need that. You need a little bit of that. I'm the best. I want to be the best. Does not matter what you throw at me, what adversity comes my way, I will overcome. And you've proven that to us, man. You've had some firework fights. Like I said, that's why I'm excited for this one, man. I really am hoping it comes to fruition, because I just don't see this being a sleeper fight. I don't see either of you, like, unless it's literally just to cut an angle to then set up another shot, taking a back step. Like, I really don't see that.
No, neither do I, man. Let's like I said, let's hope for the best and hope we full send this one off. But yeah, man, if it does happen, I am looking forward to facing him, obviously, for the title, the 125-pound title. We could squash out that division and see who reigns supreme in there. And like I said, I feel like I'm the guy who will walk away with the belt. So yeah, let's do it up, baby.
Now, I know we talked about Mariano and your review of his style, and we got a little bit into yours, but I want to ask more about that kind of West Coast flavor. What tricks do you add into your game that kind of gives it that, like you said, that West Coast flavor, that David Death Dealer style? What part of your martial art is part of your art?
My flow. I'm not a big, I don't, people think maybe I might have some big power. I kick hard, I punch hard, obviously, but I'm not trying to set up big bomb shots. My style is very flow. If you've seen I think it was my first fight for FightersRep, I think it was David Huey was saying that my style was like a dance, it's very flow. And I showcased that again up against, it was my second fight up against Ralph Sanchez, I took that one as a loss. Even to this day, guys, no put down to him. Ralph Sanchez was a tough guy. I just think I won that fight. I think the judges were looking at something else. That being said, though, once again, it was just showcasing that little flow style that I like to kind of bring. If you guys have ever seen me in the sparring room, my partners can attest to it. It's just I like music, I like beats, and I like flow. So, man, it's my flow. I try to make the fight more like a dance. Keep everything very laxed, very loose, and like I said, take my openings when I see them.
I would agree with that, man. Again, definitely, like I said, obviously we've seen you been put in the fire, but one thing that I really enjoy about you, obviously it led to a head kick knockout, was your counter ability. Where you are able to see those shots, you do set things up. That is a very, I almost feel like sometimes that underrated factor when obviously assessing different fighters, especially we're within the amateur realms. You guys are still coming up. You guys are still developing and figuring this thing out. I feel like that's a big thing that can separate a lot of fighters. The guys that can stay calm in there, set up a game plan, stick to it. They may not be the most physically gifted, but the guys who can do that definitely separate themselves from the pack.
Yeah, man, it brings a whole new I guess edge to the fight. You
Yeah.
know, if you have that, I guess, a little bit of natural toughness. You know, you guess you kind of have to be a naturally tough person to be in a, the hurt business, guys. You know, like we
Mhm.
said, it's a very easy sport and combat sport to hurt yourself and or get hurt in.
Mhm.
So you got to be tough. You got to be able to weather the storm. And thankfully, shouts out to my mom. I feel like she did a good job raising me tough. I have some good respect qualities about me, but I'm a tough guy and I won't take shit. So same thing in the ring. If you think you're gonna bully me around, try it, but I'll weather the storm and I will level up. I will overcome it.
All right, man. Well, I don't know what else I could ask you, other than these last final two questions. Again, I appreciate you giving our time. It's been a great interview, but what's next and what can we see next for David Death Dealer Marquez? Hopefully we'll see that return in the Lions Den.
Yeah, man. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you, man. You do awesome. At the last fight, your questions, you actually seem like you know what you're doing. You're not just asking random things. You do the research, and you ask the right questions, which is awesome. So I want to thank you, man, again for just taking your time to do the interview with me as well.
Oh man, touching my heart right there. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and then man, coming up for me, I want to try to be active. Sometimes it's hard to
Mhm.
find some fights because, like some people do look at that knockout and are kind of like, do I want to venture into that realm? I mean, the shadow realm's a scary place to get sent to, and I want to send you guys there. So,
Mhm.
some people don't want the one-way ticket there. So sometimes it's hard to find fights. But like I said, I am lined up for um, this month on the 30th. Uh, look for me, guys. I'm going to be fighting for the IFS and IKF 127-pound championship. So it's some good prestigious titles coming up for me as in terms of amateur titles. Once I get my hands wrapped around those, and said hopefully we can get this fighters rep card coming into fruition and actually
Mhm.
come together and yeah, man, collect a third belt. And that's just what I'm trying to do, man. Just try to get hard fights up against the best people. Obviously, we know Nathan Hawthorne was a champ of another division and squashed him out. So that's just another king I took down. You know what I mean? I'm trying to collect all the crowns. So that's what I'm looking forward to, man. But yeah, I'm going to be coming up this month on the 30th, 2 belts, looking to make myself a double champ. And then, yeah, man, hopefully I'm coming for that fighter's rep belt. I want to get back in the Lions Den. Feel like it's home there.
Yeah, man. Well, out here collecting belts like they're infinity stones.
Yeah, man, that's what I
Like
want
your
to do. I want to
Thanos,
be the
man.
belt collector.
Well, that does again lead me into another question here. If obviously you're a guy who takes this seriously, I'm sure you eventually want to go pro.
Oh yeah.
Could we potentially see a pro kickboxing career out of David Death Dealer Marquez in the Fighters Rep Lions Den?
Yes, most definitely. If it happens and you guys are willing to see me on the pro level, you guys are willing to show me the love continuously, and you want to see my face out there, I would love to do it, man. I want to go pro in fight sports and pretty much every realm. I want to try pro Muay Thai. I want to try pro kickboxing and pro MMA. I just want to venture out and test the waters, man. Like I said, I feel like I'm the best 125-pound fighter, 127-pound fighter. So if somebody wants to meet me at that weight in any realm, let's get it. I'm confident and I love to fight. So I'm here
All
for it, baby.
right. And then that leads to the last question I got for you. The always annual one to end out the interviews. Any shout outs you want to make?
Uh, Shout out to the man, Adam. How do you pronounce your last name?
Araby. We'll say Araby. Not my real last
Araby.
name, but
Never want to mispronounce anybody's name. But shout out to Adam Araby, guys. Great interviewer. He does the research. He makes things happen. So shout out to him. Shout out to Fighters Rep, guys. You put me on for that last fight. Like I said, you gave me a hard fight, but like I said, I squashed him out. So that's a check off the list right there. George, shout out to you, man. Great promoter. Let's get this thing rocking, baby. Much love to you. And then shouts out to my team, guys. Buena Park Martial Arts Academy. Everybody there, all the pros, Francisco
Mhm.
Rivera, David Duran, Steve Ramirez, all the people that's helped me out over the time. Of course, all my little homies out there, Jacob, everybody that helps me out in camps. I got people over at NHC Martial Arts Academy. I'm sure you guys know him. The Cuban Missile Crisis. Sergio
Mhm.
Tapatio. Look for him. He wants to come back. I got the boy, the Black Irishman, out of there too. So NHC Martial Art Fitness, another shout out to them. Shout out to Buena Park Martial Arts Fitness, and then shout out to my two head coaches, Coach Matthew Johnson and Chanrith Pot. Those guys are the ones that hold it down for me in the corner, and those are the ones that send me out to war, and we get the dubs together. So shouts out to all you guys, and then all the fans. As always, I appreciate the fans, the people who watch the fights, man. Like, without you guys, there'd be really no reason to get out there. I mean, I could go fight in the middle of the street if I wanted to, but to do it in a ring with a bunch of people cheering me on, that's what it's all about. So I appreciate you guys too.
Man, you really are the man of Anaheim out here.
Nah, man, I try to be, bro, repping that place, A-Town, guys. Anaheim, Buena
A-Town.
Park, Orange County. Let's go.
All right. Well, thank you again, man. And like I said, guys, I don't know what other promo I could cut, that you're going to want to see this guy when he's back in the Lions Den. All right. I'll see you guys next week. And thank you again, David.
Peace.